Hello everyone, my name is Mark and I'm here with a different video. It's mostly going to be about League today. It's a surprise. I've been pretty much been a casual player, more or less, and this was a really big deal, which was the Karma biography changes or whatnot that happened, I believe, in patch 8.7 when they released Irelia, the rework. And as you can see, here is the bio and why I'm talking about this. It's pretty simple. Karma is like my favorite mage champion, without a doubt. In terms of just being a pure mage, she's probably one of my favorite champions. Simple to play, not too much mechanics involved, although you do have to hit your Q, which is the skill shot. But anyway, I followed this, I came across this Reddit page, League page obviously, and this thread, Karma's new lore is awful. And I kind of agree, it is pretty awful compared to the past biography. So this guy talks about why it's horrible, and one, if you read the Karma biography, is she became a absolute pacifist, and that was a no-no for most. Maybe not most, but at least from what I've read in the comments and from my opinion as well, it is not that great of an idea if you know the lore. But I'll just talk about this really quick. And, he says, or he or she, I'm pretty sure it's a he, but anyway, the new lore ruined everything. Lines are opposite, skills are also the opposite. And he talks about how Korra from The Last Airbender, and I've never watched that anime/cartoon, if you don't consider it an anime, and it talks about how she became a pacifist. Yeah, Karma's definitely really weird in this bio. Even in her in-game lines, all the champions have lines that they say in-game, and it says, if you desire peace, you must prepare for war. Anyway, people are pissed. You can just read the comments. Yeah, this guy's cursing. F this. When I heard the Irelia special interactions where she tells Karma, your peace brings only extinction, I got so confused because Karma literally says, there is wisdom in war. And blank like that. Lol. Oh man, that's pretty funny. Top comment, I think. Something like that. And I agree with the guy. Let's see what the other comments say. They're applied to him. They talk about Caitlyn. I don't know much about the changes to that. But anyway, we can go through the lore. It talks about how Karma is a Dalai Lama of sorts, where she is reborn, like her namesake, Karma. Hinduism? Or is it Buddhism? Well, then again, there's a bunch of religions that talk about reincarnation. So the most recent incarnation was this 12-year-old girl, Darha. And they talk about how she lived in a village, I suppose. She suffered from a lot of visions. That's, usually not good if you're a 12-year-old girl suffering visions, among other problems, I would imagine. Anyway, it talks about how she eventually meets these monks that go to her village because they're looking for the divine leader Karma, who was a he, I guess, when the old man died, and Darha became the next incarnation. It goes blah blah blah. The visions of past lives rushing to fill a new vessel. That's not very human, I suppose, to describe her, but life is quite dehumanized. There you go. And yeah, she goes to the lasting altar, do meditation and whatnot, learn what all those old dead minds are screaming about in her mind. Yeah, I can't imagine having a bunch of voices in my head blabbering about peace and harmony. That would be quite annoying. But, this annoying part would become very bad because Noxus invades Ionia, and what do you know? All that peace and harmony stuff? Yeah, you go tell that to Darius and friends. You'll know how that goes for you. Not well, if you didn't know. Noxus in the League of Legends world of Runeterra, quite warlike. They like conquering places. And Ionia got the bad end of that deal, obviously. And if you know Irelia's backstory, she's the one that has to deal with this crap of invaders, family getting butchered. But anyway, Karma's not really there for the most part. Of course, she knows that, Ionians are dying, and even the young Darha, this 12-year-old, probably not 12-year-olds anymore, probably some teenager now, after her meditations and training, is like screaming, what is the point of the power if you don't use it? And this Karma, I don't really understand this too well, but I'd imagine that Karma's taken over as some sort of dominant personality, I guess, or the fusion of the old dead people that are in her mind of the kid Darha is Karma now. It's complicated, but she decides to go fight a naval battle, which is quite weird. But hey, you know what? Irelia for the land battles, Karma for the naval battles. I'm up for that. And Karma, what do you know, goes all out and just blows up the whole ship. She felt empty, or left empty. Pretty much felt empty, I guess. And the Ionians were happy, Ionians rejoiced. Hey, you know what? If you just saved yourself a whole naval invasion, I would be happy about that too. But unfortunately, Karma, like in the Darha's mind, I guess, they completely left, except only the girl was in the mind. And that kind of messed up everything, because in the story, it talks about how Karma's made a huge mistake, and now she has to go meditate forever and perform penance for upsetting the spiritual harmony of the homeland. It's tough to take this if you're more of a cynical person, because you gotta do what you gotta do. Someone's invading your land, chopping up your people, stealing your stuff, taking your land. I would be kind of not happy about that, But anyway, Karma is decide to, yep, you know what? I'm just gonna meditate and not do anything. So that's really great. So much for being a leader, But if you have good lieutenants that take care of business, I don't see the big problem in it. But unfortunately, you're up against Noxus, and I'm pretty sure Ionia doesn't really have, at least in the current lore at the moment. It's only Irelia, I think, is fighting the Noxians, right? There is Riven. She's an exiled Noxian, but I don't see Riven exactly fighting Noxians, although who knows. There's Yasuo, I guess, but he's also wandering around, who knows. But he is an Ionian, I think, so. But anyway, that just tangent, stretching out for too long. And although they do say the war is over, that is weird. That is very weird. I don't understand that. How could you win a war if you're not fighting? Don't tell me that Irelia did all your dirty work, and she's psychologically messed up from killing all those Noxians. And as you can see, they talk about how there are a lot of Ionians that have embraced violence for the sake of violence, I guess. Maybe not like that, but they're willing to fight now. And Karma has decided, I'll convert all these violent people into peaceful people again. Yeah, like that's ever gonna happen as well as you think. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of those people are so angry that the Noxians came, chopped them up, stole their stuff, and killed a whole bunch of innocent people, But anyway, that's just my talk. And I mean, in terms of creativity and the whole fictional business, the story's okay, but I definitely don't like how it ended, because if you go to for example, on the wiki page for League, you can go to her, her second lore, and it talks about how, yeah, she was there. She was on the battlefield, She took the role as a leader, literally, go out there and lead from the front, That's what real leaders do back in the day, but nowadays leaders don't do that. I mean, in terms of like political leaders, there are obviously leaders in the battlefield. And yeah, she talked about how Karma lived a tranquil life, and then everything went crazy because the Noxians came and started chopping people up and killing them, stealing their stuff. Obviously they don't say that, but that's pretty much the whole deal of Conquest. And Karma was not happy about hearing about all the cruelty, well, obviously. And she decided to go and stop them. Oh wait, no, she didn't go and stop them. The Elder Monks rolled out and got chopped up because they showed a sign of weakness that the Noxians obviously don't like. And the villagers were prepared to accept death, not even willing to fight. Probably they couldn't even fight against Noxians. But the hero Karma decided that she would not accept death, and she would rather sacrifice herself. And she used her ability Inner Flame, which is her Q, which is just a blast of energy, as it explains. She goes all out with her passive, I guess. That is weird. But anyway, she just destroyed all of them. Yeah, talk about a powerful leader. Oh man, I don't know if I'm laughing about it. But anyway, in this lore, she is a leader from the front, on the front, the fight with the people that she's sending to die. And, you can respect that. How could you not respect that? But then you revert, oh yeah, here's Karma, whole stats and whatnot. And you revert to this Karma. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna sit around and do nothing. Well, I mean, not do nothing. She's performing penance by meditating all day. But yeah, I'm gonna let Irelia do all the dirty work and chop up the Noxians, you know? I'm not gonna do anything. I mean, I don't know about that. She is, from her splash art, she kind of looks serious. Although, how do I put this? She's quite showing a lot of leg, but that's a thing, I guess, in our culture. Ignoring that, you know, she doesn't look like she's there to mess around. But in this thing, in this lore, you know, you presented a picture where she is kind of just a politician, I guess. You know, like politicians, they don't, especially nowadays, you know, they send people to die in wars, and you know, they don't really pay a price for it at all, I would say. Not a real price, but that's just my opinion. And sometimes I think about ideology, you know, the word that's not talked about too often unless you listen to some philosophers on YouTube, and you'll know who I'm talking about. And I use Merriam Dictionary because I'm American. It's just a way of using concepts to explain stuff, or into describing characteristics of an individual group or culture. And if you really in the English, you just use Oxford. I think they're like the official one. And the definition is a system of ideas, especially one which forms the basis of economic or political theories and policy. And I kind of use this to explain my point, is she is not what her old lore was. This is completely different. Although, I mean, in the end, she did participate in that naval battle and blew up that whole ship, which is probably pretty amazing. Although it was very bad, I guess, because she didn't really want to kill all those people. But that's war. Gotta do some really dirty work. And once she did it once, she never went back, according to the lore. So that's kind of dumb, because if you think about League, the gameplay, you do a lot of fictional killing, and how does Karma fit in if she's a pacifist to the whatever next level? It doesn't make sense, and that's why people are going crazy on Reddit. You know, this guy has 1,840 upvotes, and he is given a pretty emotional opinion. And I went to Surrender at 20. They do a lot of news updates, I guess. They do a lot of, oh man, what do you call it? They just do a lot of updates on the game, patch notes, I guess. They also cover patch notes, and oh man, my mind is drawn a blank in the PBE. There you go. They do a lot of PBE stuff, and you can see in the news section here, this rioter, I guess, Skaithlock, noted. Oh, he's on the boards. We can see it officially here, yeah? Yeah, he said they're gonna make some changes and piss people off, obviously. And yeah, they said that they're gonna update it, but they're not gonna change it. I looked up what that word meant, retcon, which means I believe to completely overhaul or change something, right? Different interpretation. So they're just trying to overhaul the. People probably want the overhaul, but this guy says they're gonna improve it. So, or she, I don't know who the hell that is. And oh man, lead narrative director, yeah. Get that abuse from Reddit for messing up Karma that badly. Although I do feel bad for the writer. Imagine that writer taking all that abuse, you know? Shouldn't have the editor caught this already, but they just put it out anyway, so feel bad for that writer. Well, you know, they did a good job in terms of creativity, although maybe could have done something a little more original than the whole incarnation thing, but it fits her name, it fits, but maybe something a little bit more surprising would have been cool as well. Some other notable things I saw was how the whole theme of the voices in her head and how she became Karma, you know, like this italicized. There's like this theme, you know, you could say that the individual got beaten by the community, I guess you could say. I mean, in that moment where she blew up that Noxian ship, I guess there was that point of individuality that stood out. But then she was just reversed to becoming just totally, I am all about peace, and this is what I stand for, and I'm not going to do anything more than that. And that was a good thing, because all those voices came back. Hey, you know what? More lost voices return to offer their eternal wisdom. I don't know, to me that's like aggressive. Maybe not aggressive, just a pull, and I didn't have enough sleep today, so my mind's kind of not running at 100%. There's that conflict there between the individual Darha, which is probably fading away really fast now at this point, and the Karma, or the old Karmas, which is the Karma now, but that's complicated anyway. And then another point I wanted to hit was she reverts to these lost voices for the wisdom, and she's decided to do all pacifist. It's clearly against the pragmatic reality is you got a very annoying neighbor in Noxus who is trying to chop up your people and steal your land and take your stuff, and that is a problem, to say the least. And pragmatic reality, that's the problem that I see here. The reality is peace is probably not gonna stop Noxus from conquering you, or conquering Ionia. Ionia seems to be like a region, not a city-state, but a region. And Noxus, I believe, is a city-state that's expanding. You have this conflict between the old, historical, traditional way of doing things in Ionia, which is peace, harmony with nature, don't do anything that's violent. You have the reality, which is Noxus is coming. Just because it's peaceful now doesn't mean it's going to be peaceful later. You all know that war is coming, and the only person, at least at the moment, on April 19th, I guess, 2018, as in the current lore, the only person fighting them is Irelia. Maybe some other people here and there that they don't talk about, but it is Irelia, and she's doing all the dirty work, which is quite saddening. But hey, that's the world, I guess. Some people do all the dirty work, or do a lot of it, and there are other people that do close to nothing, or they don't dirty their hands in people's blood, which is what you do in war, obviously. So what can you do? It's tough. A lot of questions to be asked. Hopefully when they improve the lore, it's not going to be so negative. Like, I can see why they made Karma all peace and Irelia pretty much the violent one, I guess you'd say. But it's just such a huge departure from Karma's old lore. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. I'm still going to be a fan of Karma even though the lore is garbage. I mean, I have to admit it is pretty bad in terms of such a huge jump from I am the leader who fights the battle beside everyone else to now I am a complete pacifist who will not participate on the front lines after one huge victory, and I'm just gonna sit here all day and not do anything besides meditate. I mean, if Karma had great lieutenants, like, I don't even know if Irelia is a lieutenant of hers, probably not. But if, Karma had great lieutenants that just took care of business for her, maybe you could give her the benefit of the doubt, especially from this lore. But hey, maybe I'll update this whenever they upload the new lore, and hopefully we get to see something, or read something better, at the least. The very least, anyway. Yeah, thank you for listening to my rambling. If you enjoyed it, give video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you are new. There's something different from me. I really didn't expect to return to League of Legends. I was in that environment for, a couple of years. I had to quit it in 2014, I think, or 2013. Yeah, I think 2014 I quit eventually. Just couldn't play much League and study at the same time, so I had to quit that. But anyway, thank you for watching. 3 links below: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Check those out. Hopefully I'll have some Football Manager content up soon. But for this week, this surprise video of Karma is going to be what you're going to be listening to. Thank you for watching. Once again, this is World Town FC, united to triumph.